how you doing? This is TV and school. Вивчаємо з тобою ми англійську. How are you? Що скажеш, коли ти зустрінеш якогось іноземця? So, let's speak English. Англійська мова Шекспіра та нью-йоркських таксистів. Англійська стане у нагоді вам, boys і дівчиська.
Hello, my name is Olga Manma and welcome to the English lesson. The skill we're going to be practicing today is monologue speaking. Well, when I thought, what shall I teach my students of the 11th grade? What would be the most beneficial for them in terms of monologue speaking? Welcome to the adult world, the world of public talks, whether it's university, your first job, or a public event where you're asked to stand in front of a group of people and to produce the talk. Right. Some time ago, I was given the task to give a small talk of about 10 minutes for my colleagues, educators. And the topic I was given is technology in education. I'll be frank with you, after years of working, different job experiences, and teaching English, I still struggle. It took me about 3 days really to work on the text, to edit it, to proofread it, to practice, to see how much time it will take me, and really to remember about all the aspects, such as the quickness of how I'm going to talk, what I'm going to wear, how I'm going to stand, and what I'm going to do with my hands. I'm going to share some of those skills with you today. And, well, yes, I will reproduce actually the talk that I gave to my colleagues. Are you ready? Right, let's start. Hello, my name is Olga Manma. And before we start, let me ask you the question. Technology in education, is it for better or worse? Let's see what you think. Give me thumbs up if you think that technology in education is a good and beneficial thing. Thank you. And thumbs down if you think that technology in education gives us no advantages. Well done. Let me share some of my insights with you. I've been teaching for 15 years now, and I've always struggled when I ask myself this question. For example, you give your students a task, you see them using devices, they have Wi-Fi, they have computers, they have their phones, and they would open various tabs, they would Google information, they would search for information, accumulate it, analyze it, and then produce some really cool projects. And you think, wow, technology in education, what a beneficial tool. Or you give the students a task, they are given the same amount of time, access to internet, devices, computers, telephones, and what do you see them doing? Posting pictures on Instagram or recording the new trends in TikTok. And you think, oh no, what a distraction for education these technologies are. And this is a problem. As educators, we never know, but we have to do what is the best for our students. So I've been asking this question to myself, technologies in education. Do I go for it or do I avoid it? When you have questions, what do you do nowadays? Yes, you Google it. So that's what I've done. To make the long story short, the Googling did not go well. It gave me access to hundreds of articles. However, some of them would be for, some of them would be against. The good news is this question is debatable. And there are 3 main things I've learned from Googling and analyzing all this information. Number 1, technology in education is beneficial. Our students have access to a huge database of information, pictures, images, videos, various resources of encyclopedias. Right. Education and technology can be tricky because schools might be experiencing cyberbullying or cheating. It's made easier once you have a device and access to information. However, after having a look at these 2 points, I figured out that asking this question itself, whether technology in education is beneficial or is it a huge disadvantage, is not the right question to ask at all. The third thing we should remember, technology isn't slowing down. It's actually developing and it's speeding up. If you're a teacher in 2020, the vast majority of your students would be born after 2020, which means they are digital natives. They were born with access to their parents or their own devices, to internet and all the information available 24/7 from anywhere once you have a connection to internet. Right. That is a challenge for all of us. It's more of a challenge, it's a responsibility and our obligation as teachers, as educators, to know for ourselves how to use it to our and their advantages. Let's imagine the school that is facing cyberbullying. What would the typical educator response? Get rid of technology, avoid any troubles. No technologies, no problems. No, doesn't work. Once your student leaves this safety bubble that you are creating at school, believing you are doing it for their best, they go into the life inexperienced, unprepared, and facing much bigger problems that they could if we did teach them how to use the devices and information in a proper way. Because as educators, it is our responsibility to teach our students of how to live in the world of being digital natives, how to use the devices, information, how to improve their digital literacy and develop into lifelong learners using technology and education. Hello. Oh, hello everyone. I'm very sorry. I'm very nervous. This is the first time I will talk to you, but this will be very interesting. Please help me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's start with a question. What do you think technology in education, is it good or bad? Oh, all right. Yes. Give me a thumbs up if you think this is good. Oh, thank you. Thank you. And thumbs down if you think that this is bad. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I was teaching for 15 years and we used technology in lessons, and I always had problems with that because I never knew if my students are using it in a proper way or in the wrong way. Oh, I'm sorry. For example, if the students use cell phones to do some research, I'm always impressed when I see the child who has multiple tabs open. They look for various sources, exciting information, and all at the same time. And I think, wow, technology in the classroom, what a valuable tool. But when you see the student who is doing TikTok or posting on Instagram, I think, oh, this is horrible distraction. Yes, and my job as educator, it is to do what is the best for my students in terms of technology, and I don't know what is the best. Therefore, I did what everyone does nowadays. I Googled the question, and long story made short, Googling did not go well. And if you Google this question, it turns out that you will find hundreds of articles that convincingly argue both sides of this problem. So no help there. But the key message I got is this topic is debatable. And there are three main things that we should know about technology. Number one, the technology can be dangerous. Schools face things like cyberbullying, academic dishonesty, because cheating with online, it can be made easier, right? And here technology is minefield and we have to be careful. The second thing we know is that technology can be infinitely valuable. It can advance students' learning by providing access to vast reservoir of information. I'm so worried, I'm sorry. So number two, we know technology can be beneficial. What we know is technology in education is bad, technology in education is good, and it looks like we're not close to answering the question. But We're moving to the third point, which will clear it up a bit. Third thing we know is that technology isn't slowing down. It's speeding up every day. And if you're a student in 2020, you were born somewhere after year 2000. And what makes 100% of student body, they're called Generation Z, who are commonly referred to as digital natives. And this term tells it all. Their main quality is that they've never experienced a world without internet, the cell phones, without access to the entire world. And if that is the case, our students, technology is less of a device than they possess and more of an environment that they inhabit. For example, if school is experiencing cyberbullying issues, let's say they may decide to ban technology because they think that the problem is clear and technology has negative impact on student learning. And the solution is easy. No technology, no problem. But the solution is only temporary. When you consider that eventually that bell is going to ring and students will leave classroom, will have cell phones and exit the safety bubble that we've been creating for them. And then at that point, they will find themselves in unknown digital environment with the same dangers, but this time inexperienced and unprepared. So when we look at the question again, it is more beneficial or harmful for our students, we realize that this is the wrong question to ask, because it doesn't matter if technology is more beneficial or harmful to our students. Only remember two things. Number one, as schools and educators, our responsibility is to do what is the best for our students. And our students have a device in their pocket that is both valuable and dangerous. That is why it becomes clear that utilizing technology in the classroom is less of a choice and more of a responsibility. Because as educators, we are mentors. That means it's our obligation to prepare students for the challenges of being digital natives. As teachers, we have responsibility to be able to provide students with the opportunities to develop their literary skills and become lifelong independent learners. Oh, I think I forgot to say, one, technology is beneficial, two, technology has a lot of disadvantages, and three, yes, this is the wrong question. No, sorry, I forgot to say that. Sorry. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Dear students, as you probably guess, the solution is easy. Practice makes it perfect. Once you are given the task of producing some public speaking, give yourself the proper amount of time to prepare, to practice. Practice makes perfect. However, there were 5 things that I did right and that I did wrong on purpose. Right, number 1, always introduce yourself. Once you introduce yourself, you get in touch with your audience and you establish this beautiful rapport that gives you access to their listening. Right. Don't avoid it. Always do it. Number 2, remember how fast, the tempo of your speaking, how fast you talk. That's important. If you do it too slow, your audience can fall asleep. If you do it too fast, then your audience will not be able to follow your message. Good. Avoid huge pauses though, like that brings all the bad luck, trust me. Right. The next, your hands. Remember, there are some gestures that you can use, some points, some giving some directions. However, try not to fiddle with your hands. That really distracts and shows your nervousness. No matter how nervous you are, please do not apologize. Please leave it behind the room where you are giving your speech. Try to look confident. Breathe. Breathing is important, by the way, very important. If I continue producing my talk, standing just in one spot, it might be a bit boring. Give your audience some split of their attention. Try to move, do it confidently and slowly. That will draw their attention to what you're talking. Yes, moving and changing pauses is absolutely fine. Another important point is eye contact. Try to keep the eye contact with your audience. If you keep looking down or up or to the sides, that really doesn't get your audience involved. In my talk, I mold my audience by giving them the chance to vote, giving me thumbs up or thumbs down. And the worst thing ever you can do is read. If you stick to your notes and just read, trust me, that won't work. Right? Let's have a look and summarize our top 5s of what to do when you are doing the public talking. Number 1, please introduce yourself. 2, keep eye contact with your audience. Number 3, control the tempo of your talking. It shouldn't be too slow or too fast. Next, move around. Allow yourself to move around the room where you're talking. And of course, the last one, try to engage audience. You will be definitely doing it by following all the other pieces of advice I did, voting, thumbs up or thumbs down, and asking various questions. That usually works. And 5 don'ts. Please never do it. Number 1, the worst thing ever, read. Please don't read. The audience will not listen to you. Yes, no matter how nervous you are. Well, trust me, I was nervous when I was talking too. Please do not apologize for what you have said, for how nervous you are. All the huge pauses and really don't work. Avoid playing with your hands. Really, you show your nervousness, and once you start doing this, the audience are not listening to you. And the last thing that I was doing wrong, I was speaking too quickly at times. Again, the audience will not catch your message, and probably they will stop listening to you on minute number 3 or 4 of your talk. I wish you all good luck with your public talks. Remember, practice makes perfect. I hope our 5s of what to do and what not to do will help to get ready. No matter what event, no matter how big your audience are or who they are, you will always be ready for the public talk. Good luck. See you at the next lesson. Bye.